Have you ever seen a man realize he fumbled a diamond while chasing after cheap glass in real time? Because what we are witnessing right now with Stefon Diggs is not just a breakup, it is a full-scale emergency, a total system failure, and a level of desperation that is actually making my skin crawl. This man is out here literally on his knees, begging for a second chance after Cardi B decided she was finally done being the lead character in his messy soap opera. Does he actually think he can just waltz back into her life after the public humiliation he put her through? Does he really believe a few late-night texts and some flowers can erase the fact that he turned her life into a trending topic for all the wrong reasons? The audacity is truly astronomical, and I mean that in the most disrespectful way possible, because Stefon is currently acting like a man who just realized his subscription to a luxury life has been cancelled, and he can't afford the renewal. We are talking about leaked messages, secret phone calls, and reports of him showing up at her tour stops like a lost puppy looking for a bone. He is panicking because for the first time in his life the player got played by his own ego, and now he is staring at a future that looks very lonely and very quiet. Stick with me because we are about to expose every single desperate move he's making to get back into Cardi's good graces, and why she is currently laughing all the way to the bank without him. You guys need to buckle up, because we are officially witnessing the most desperate downward spiral in NFL and hip-hop history. And it's all centered around one man who thought he was untouchable until he realized he was actually unemployed. Stefon Diggs is currently in a full-blown panic attack, and the reports coming out about his behind-the-scenes behavior would be hilarious if they weren't so incredibly embarrassing for a grown man. We are talking about a guy who went from being a star wide receiver with a billionaire girlfriend to a free agent with felony charges and a blocked phone number in the span of a single season. The silence from Cardi's camp is deafening, but the noise coming from Stefon's side is getting louder and more pathetic by the hour. This whole scandal kicked off during Super Bowl weekend in February 2026. And if you think that was just a bad game, you haven't been paying attention to the real drama. While Stefon was on the field losing the championship, his personal life was catching fire in the stands because he decided to invite his entire rotation of women to the same stadium. Cardi B was reportedly sitting in a luxury suite, while Stefon's other baby mamas like Kiki and Pri were posting from the same hotel and the same VIP sections. It was the ultimate display of disrespect. And it was the moment Cardi decided she wasn't going to be another name on his roster. She gave him that viral cold-blooded good luck before the game, and by the time the fourth quarter ended, she had already packed her bags and deleted every trace of him from her life. Now, let's get into the actual investigative breakdown of why Stefon is literally on his knees begging to get back into the Bardi manor. It isn't just about love. And it isn't just about their son, who was born back in November. It's about the fact that Stefon's entire world is collapsing, and Cardi was the only thing keeping him relevant. In March 2026, the New England Patriots officially terminated his $63 million contract. They didn't just trade him, they released him because they were tired of the off-field distractions and his refusal to restructure his deal. Music, he walked away from $26 million in guaranteed money because he thought he could leverage his celebrity status to get a better deal elsewhere. But he forgot that nobody wants to sign a wide receiver who is currently facing felony strangulation charges. The legal drama is where this gets truly dark, and it's the reason why he is so desperate for Cardi's public support. Stefon is currently facing serious criminal charges stemming from a dispute with his former personal chef, who alleges he physically attacked her and tried to choke her over a money dispute. He pleaded not guilty in February, but the trial is set for May 2026, and his legal team is reportedly freaking out because they know his reputation is in the gutter. He needs Cardi to stand by him to show the world he isn't a monster, but Cardi is busy grossing $70 million on her Little Miss Drama tour, and she isn't answering any of his calls. Insiders say he has been sending flowers to every single tour stop only for them to be thrown in the trash by her security team before she even sees them. It gets even more scandalous because Offset has decided to jump into the middle of this mess to make things even worse for Stefon. Viral clips have surfaced where Offset is allegedly claiming that Stefon only left Cardi because of paternity concerns, and he is out here demanding DNA tests for the newborn. Even though the courts have denied these requests, the damage is done. Stefon is caught between a baby mama roster that won't stop posting, and an ex-husband who is trying to claim his child while he is simultaneously trying to convince Cardi that he is a changed man. He is trapped in a web of his own making, and the walls are closing in so fast that he's started reaching out to Cardi's mother and sisters begging them to mediate a conversation. Reports from TMZ and other investigative outlets suggest that Stefon has been seen in Washington, D.C. trying to corner Cardi after her performances. He isn't just sending texts, he is literally following her around the country like a groupie with a broken heart. Sources say he was spotted outside a venue trying to get backstage, and was heard telling security that he just needs 5 minutes to explain everything. But what is there to explain? You can't explain away 4 babies born in 1 year with different women. You can't explain away felony charges, and you certainly can't explain why you thought the mother of your child would be okay with being treated like a side chick at the Super Bowl. The level of delusion is truly unmatched, and it's why the public reaction has been so brutal. People online are calling him the ultimate fumbler, and the memes are already legendary because everyone can see what he's doing. He is trying to use the odds to guilt Cardi into a reconciliation. He's been liking posts about how every man makes mistakes and how strong women forgive their partners for the sake of the children. But Cardi has been down this road before with Offset, and she has made it very clear in her recent tour speeches that she is done being a fixer for broken men. She told a sold-out crowd in Atlanta that she is choosing her peace over people, and that was a direct shot at Stefon's begging. She is thriving, and he is surviving, and that power dynamic shift is exactly why he is panicking. We are also hearing whispers about Stefon's financial situation being much worse than he's letting on. Without that NFL paycheck, and with multiple paternity suits and high-priced lawyers to pay, the man is reportedly looking for a way to stay in the lifestyle he got used to while dating a woman worth hundreds of millions. Cardi wasn't just a girlfriend, she was his ticket to the A-list, and now that he's on the A-list for all the wrong reasons, he is realizing that the door is locked from the inside. He screwed everything up, and now he is learning that in 2026, Cardi B doesn't do second chances for men who treat loyalty like a suggestion rather than a requirement. The fallout from this is going to be massive, because if Stefon doesn't land a new team soon, and if he loses this court case in May, he is looking at a complete career ending. He thought he could play the game both on and off the field, but he forgot that the woman he was playing with has a fan base that doesn't forget, and a legal team that doesn't play. This isn't just a celebrity breakup, it's a cautionary tale about what happens when you let your ego run away with your common sense. Stefon Diggs is begging for a life he threw away, and the world is currently watching him realize that some mistakes are too big to be fixed with an apology and a bouquet of roses. The investigation into Stefon Diggs and his absolute meltdown over Cardi B is getting darker by the second because we are now uncovering a trail of financial and legal chaos that explains why he's so desperate to get back into her penthouse. Sources are now coming forward with receipts that suggest Stefon's begging isn't just about missing Cardi's laugh, it's about missing her protection and her payroll. We are talking about a man who just lost a $63 million contract with the Patriots, and is now facing felony charges that could literally land him behind bars. The walls are closing in on him, and he realizes that without the Cardi B shield, he is just another free agent with a very messy personal life, and a legal team that is costing him a fortune. Let's talk about the real reason the Patriots kicked him to the curb in March 2026. It wasn't just about his age or his declining speed on the field. Insiders are leaking that the team was fed up with the absolute circus he brought into the locker room. Between his 4 different baby mamas showing up at games and the constant social media drama with Cardi, the organization decided he was a liability. He walked away from $26 million in guaranteed money because he really thought he could be the next Travis Kelce type of superstar with a celebrity wife. But he forgot that you actually have to be loyal to get that kind of treatment. Now he's sitting at home with no team and no check, watching Cardi rake in $70 from her tour. But the most shocking thing in this video of this investigative breakdown is the secret legal battle Stefon is fighting in the background. While he's publicly liking Cardi's photos and trying to look like a heartbroken soul, he is privately fighting felony strangulation charges. This isn't just some internet rumor, this is a real case in Massachusetts involving his former personal chef. The details are sickening. Allegedly, he attacked her over a money dispute back in December and even tried to choke her. He pleaded not guilty, but his trial is set for May 2026. Do you see the pattern here? He's begging for a second chance with Cardi because he needs her public image to help clean up his own. He needs people to see him as a family man before he walks into that courtroom. But Cardi isn't playing the role of the supportive wife this time. The desperation reached a fever pitch last week when Stefon was spotted in Washington, D.C., at one of Cardi's final tour stops. Witnesses say he didn't just show up to watch the show, he was seen leaning against a black SUV outside the venue looking completely drained, waiting for her to come out. Music. When Cardi finally emerged, surrounded by her security, she didn't even look his way. There is a viral clip floating around of her walking straight past him, while he tries to say something to her through the crowd. She kept walking like he was a ghost. She didn't scream. She didn't acknowledge him. She just got in her car and left him standing there in the rain. That is the kind of power move that makes a man like Stefon lose his mind. It's not just Cardi he's trying to manipulate. He's reportedly reaching out to her mother and her sister, Hennessy, trying to get them to speak up for him. Sources say he's been sending expensive gifts to their homes and calling them at all hours of the night, crying about how he didn't mean for things to go this far. He's blaming the roster of other women on his immature mindset and claiming he's a changed man since the birth of their son in November. But Cardi's family knows exactly who he is. They saw what she went through with Offset, and they are not about to let her jump back into another toxic fire. They've reportedly told him to stop calling and to stick to the court-ordered co-parenting app for any communication about the baby. And speaking of Offset, the drama has taken a turn that nobody saw coming. In a desperate move to distract from his own failures, Stefon has allegedly been fueling rumors about the paternity of their son. This backfired spectacularly when Offset himself jumped into the mix, demanding DNA tests and claiming that Stefon only left because he wasn't sure the baby was his. Music. The judge had to step in and shut the whole thing down, denying the DNA requests and telling everyone to grow up. Stefon thought this would make Cardi run back to him for protection, but instead, she just distanced herself even further. She sees that he is willing to drag their own child into the mud just to get a reaction out of her. The financial fallout for Stefon is becoming impossible to ignore. Investigative reports suggest he is currently under extreme pressure from multiple suits from the 4 other women who had his babies in 2025. With no NFL salary coming in and his endorsements drying up because of the assault charges, he is looking at a massive lifestyle downgrade. He went from private jets and multi-million-dollar mansions to realizing he might not be able to afford his own legal defense. He needs Cardi's millions to keep his head above water, and he's realized that the bank of bodily funds is officially closed. He screwed up the best thing he ever had, and now he's realizing that being a player is very expensive when you don't have a team. The most pathetic thing about this video of his begging strategy is the fake broken quotes he's been planting in the media. There was a report that he told friends he felt fooled and disrespected by Cardi, trying to play the victim in the breakup. He's trying to flip the script and make it look like Cardi was the one who was unfaithful or cold, but the receipts from the Super Bowl say otherwise. Everyone saw him with Keek and Pri. Everyone saw him ignoring Cardi while she was in the same hotel. He can't rewrite history when the whole world was watching him fumble in high definition. The public backlash has been so intense that even his own fans are starting to tell him to just take the L and go away. Cardi B is currently living in a completely different reality. She just finished her Little Miss Drama tour as the highest-grossing female rapper in history for a debut arena run. She has 70 million reasons to stay away from Stefon Diggs. Music, she is the peak of her career, looking better than she ever has. And she is showing every woman out there that you don't have to stay for the sake of a family if that family is built on lies. She is protecting her peace, her bag, and her children. Stefon can keep begging. Music, he can keep showing up at her shows, and he can keep liking her photos, but the door is locked, the alarm is set, and Cardi B has already moved on to the next chapter of her life. This is a man who thought he could have it all, the superstar wife, the fame, the NFL career, and a side rotation of women, but he ended up with nothing. He is a free agent in every sense of the word, and not in a good way. The begging is only going to get more intense as his court date in May approaches, but if Cardi stays firm, this will go down as the biggest fumble in celebrity relationship history. Music, Stefon Diggs screwed everything up, and now he has to watch the woman he disrespected become the biggest star in the world without him. The investigation is far from over, but one thing is clear: the Queen has moved her throne, and the jester is still standing outside the castle gates. The desperation has officially reached a point of no return because Stefon Diggs is no longer just sending texts. He is now allegedly trying to use legal loopholes and mutual business associates to force a face-to-face meeting with the mother of his child. This isn't about love anymore. This is about a man who is watching his entire legacy dissolve into a puddle of bad PR and mounting debt. While he sits in his empty mansion scrolling through Cardi's tour photos, he is realizing that the world didn't just side with her, they moved on with her. The industry has effectively blackballed him from the elite circles he once walked in, and he knows that the only way back to the top is through her forgiveness. But that door isn't just closed, it's been welded shut and guarded by the highest-paid security team in the business. We are hearing shocking reports from insiders who claim that Stefon tried to pull the ultimate desperate move by reaching out to Cardi's label executives. Word on the street is that he actually tried to pitch a joint branding project, or a family-centered documentary, as a way to force Cardi into a room with him for business purposes. He thought that if he could frame their reconciliation as a multi-million-dollar business deal, she would be forced to consider it for the sake of her brand. But Cardi's team reportedly laughed him out of the room, telling him that her brand has never been stronger than it is right now as a single independent powerhouse. She doesn't need a documentary about a broken home when she is currently filming the greatest comeback story in the history of female rap. The investigation into his financial state is uncovering even more red flags that point to why he is begging so hard. With his NFL career in limbo and no team willing to sign a wide receiver with a pending felony assault case, Stefon is looking at a massive cash flow problem. You have to remember that he has multiple children with multiple women, and those child support payments don't stop just because you lost your contract. There are rumors circulating in the legal community that several of his other baby mamas are preparing to take him back to court to adjust their payments because they fear his funds are drying up. He needs the Cardi B association to keep his sponsorship deals alive, but those brands are dropping him faster than he dropped those passes in the playoffs. But let's get into the most scandalous part of this video of this final breakdown, which is the secret communication he's been trying to send through their son's nannies. Sources close to the household have leaked that Stefon has been trying to slip handwritten letters and expensive jewelry into the baby's diaper bag during custody exchanges. He is reportedly writing pages and pages of apologies, claiming that he is going to therapy, that he is cutting off all the other women, and that he is willing to sign any prenuptial or postnuptial agreement she wants. He is basically offering her his soul on a silver platter, but Cardi isn't even opening the envelopes. She is reportedly handing the jewelry back to his drivers and having the letters shredded without reading a single word. That is the level of done we are talking about here. Public reaction to this begging has been absolutely ruthless, especially after Stefon was caught liking posts about how every king needs a queen to help him build. The internet was quick to remind him that he didn't try to build anything with his queen. He tried to build a stadium full of side chicks while she was at home doing the heavy lifting. The sarcasm in the comment sections is at an all-time high, with fans telling him to go ask Keek or Pri for a second chance since he seemed so interested in them during the Super Bowl. He has become a laughingstock in the sports world and the hip-hop world alike, and he can't handle the fact that he is no longer the main man in any room he walks into. He is just Cardi's ex who fumbled the bag. What makes this situation even more explosive is the looming court date in May for his assault charges. Investigative journalists have discovered that Stefon's legal team is actually worried that Cardi might be called as a character witness, or that her private testimony about his behavior during their relationship could be used against him. He isn't just begging for her love, he is begging for her silence. He knows that if she ever decides to go on a leave and tell the real story of what happened behind closed doors, his career is officially over forever. He is terrified of her voice because her voice holds the power to finish him, and that is why he is playing the role of the reformed lover so hard right now. As we wrap up this investigation, the facts are clear. Stefon Diggs screwed everything up by underestimating the woman he had by his side. He thought she was just another girl who would cry and take him back because of the baby or the lifestyle, but he forgot that Cardi B is a business unto herself. She has shown the world that you can walk away from a multimillionaire athlete and still be richer, more famous, and more respected on your own. She has set a new standard for how to handle a public betrayal, and it doesn't involve screaming on the internet or taking back a man who clearly didn't value her. She is moving forward with her $70 million tour profit, and her head held high while Stefon is left holding a pile of "I'm sorry's" notes that nobody wants to read. So, what do you guys think about this absolute mess? Is Stefon Diggs genuinely sorry, or is he just sorry that his life is falling apart without her? Do you think Cardi should give him one last chance for the sake of their son, or has he crossed the line that can never be uncrossed? And let's talk about that NFL career. Do you think any team is going to take a chance on him after all this drama, or is he officially retired by his own hand? The world is watching and the clock is ticking on Stefon's redemption tour, but so far the only person buying tickets is him. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this story is far from over, and we will be here to expose every single lie, every single leaked DM, and every single update in the trial of the century. Stay tuned, because the truth is always more scandalous than the fiction. So, there you have it, the absolute downfall of a man who thought he was bigger than the woman who made him relevant in the first place. Stefon Diggs is currently living every man's worst nightmare, realizing that the grass wasn't greener, it was just artificial turf, and now he's stuck in the mud. He is begging for a life that he dismantled with his own hands, and while he's out here playing the victim and sending those midnight apologies, Cardi is busy showing the entire world what it looks like to thrive after trash is removed. This isn't just about a breakup, it's about a total power shift that has Stefon panicking and the rest of the world taking notes. But now I want to hear from you, because the comment section is about to be on fire with this one. Do you think Stefon actually deserves a second chance, or is he just desperate because his NFL checks and his reputation are both circling the drain? Is Cardi B right for keeping that wall up, or should she think about the family and let him back in? Drop your thoughts below, because I know you guys have a lot to say about this roster-chasing behavior and this level of public begging. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe with notifications turned on, because we are tracking every single move in this legal battle and this relationship war. You do not want to miss what happens when Stefon's court date finally hits. Stay tuned, and I will catch you in the next one with more breaking truths that they don't want you to know.